we move on to Parashat Noach. Parashat Noach is an extraordinary parasha where it starts with Noach is a Ish Tzadik Tamim. Ish Tzadik Tamim. Noach is a giant. Noach is Kadosh. Noach is Tzadik. Noach is Tamim. What's Tamim? Tamim is complete with Hashem. Whatever Hashem said, Noach does. Simple. And we see actually that the parasha goes in such a way where first it tells us about how Noach is such a righteous person, and he's completely following what Hashem says. But then HaKadosh Baruch Hu looks at the rest of the people, and it's simply a tragedy. Everybody was one worse than the other. So much so that there's so much immorality in the land at the time of Noach that there's men marrying men, women marrying women. There's so much homosexuality, perversion, immorality, stealing, filth, garbage, everything that simply is the opposite of what Hashem created the world for. There's so much filth in the world that it even impacts the animals and the ground. That Hashem has to simply review everything and see that He has to destroy it. But the way that the verses are written is very interesting. We learn a lot from it. Where it says in the Parashat Noach that first Hashem says that "V'tishachet haaretz lifnei Elohim v'timale haaretz chamas," that the earth has become corrupt before God, and the earth has become filled with robbery. So Chazal says that the last straw to simply push the world to a point where it lost its right to exist was that the people were stealing from each other. There wasn't even unity among them. Meaning, when they were perverting, the nature of things, where instead of man marrying woman and being with his wife, he was taking his friend's wife, committing adultery. He was marrying another man. She was marrying another woman. All types of things that are the opposite of what it's supposed to be, similar to today, unfortunately. And but even with all of that immorality, Hashem saw at least maybe there's some type of unity. But once He saw that they're stealing from each other, they won't even allow each other to succeed in anything. That people would go to a guy's new store, and instead of buying the new food that he has, they say, "Can we taste it?" And they take a few for free that they would taste, and say, "Okay, thank you," and leave. And they would tell everybody else that he's got some new stuff, and the whole neighborhood would come, and everybody would just taste it for free. So much so that they finished the entire bag of goods without a single person paying for it. Simply robbing each other by using and perverting the law. Meaning they weren't breaking the law, like they weren't robbing each other by breaking down the door with guns and knives and everything. No, they were perverting the law in such a way that they were doing things in a legal fashion, similar to how people today do conduct their business, where they say, "Listen, I told you that I'll do the job. Okay, you paid me all the money. Fine. Okay, but you didn't do the job. Well, I didn't tell you when I'm going to finish. No, actually, you did say. You said you're going to finish in August. Yeah, but